Turn your
Well, look at us. Here we are again. Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, Sci-Fi Saturday. And you know what, my friends, mon ami, mi amigos, they can't complain. It's Sci-Fi Saturday. It's in the name of the show. So us, who are amongst the Daily Atheist Morning Show community, who like to sit and rattle about a sci-fi while everybody else goes, not sci-fi again, they can all piss off. And we can enjoy our sci-fi and talk sci-fi all we want. Am I right or am I right? Or am I right? Good morning, left-handed Jedi. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, right-handed Sith. Thank you for joining us. Idiot Test, Skunks and Chunk, Donald Trump's 34 Convictions. What a fantastic name, or a group of names as I just call them out. That's wonderful. If this, somebody might think this was like the code key to like a crypto wallet or something. It's fantastic stuff. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me. So let's see what your answers are. Real quick, on the we're 50-50 on the open it up to non-members. The only reason why I suggest that, because I do dig and enjoy my members. The only reason why I suggested that was because our chat can get pretty fun and lit. The only thing is if we do decide together as a small group of members and community, if we do decide to open it up to non-members later, we should just try to be very determined to keep it on point. If somebody comes in, they're like, hey, what about Jesus? I'm like, we're not talking about Jesus. Not unless he was in a Star Trek episode. And I don't think he was. So that's my thinking. I just wanted to share, and I'll leave it up to you guys to cuss and discuss and think about it, Let me see here. Mark, Codex of Sinning Wealth. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Mark says, well, if you have left-handed Jedi, you need it. Well, of course. No. It's perfect. It's perfect. I'm down. It's balance, like you said, and the balance in the Force. And hopefully, that's right. Who can ski? And that's why I'm going to hell. So I hope work went okay with you yesterday, Idiot Test. I hope that all went okay. Did the thing. I worked on a video yesterday morning. My goat video, Jesus is the God of the goats, and I wasn't happy with it. I was started to record it. I thought, man, if you record it now, you're putting in a B effort on this. You need to redo some stuff. And so I paused and stepped back and all that business. One of them, I'm not sure which one. One of them comes with, the Jedi or the Sith. I don't remember how it went. One comes with cookies. The other comes with weed. I don't know. When you put them together, you have pot cookies. And I see that as a fantastic, wonderful thing. You may be going to hell, but I plan to go to hell. There you go. I guess fun for the whole family. Take them all. So I'm guessing, let me see here. Do we have any, I guess, does it just, I've never run a Q&A thing before. I guess that you just answer in the chat, right? Well, I think we probably know how you guys go. I have always been a Trekkie. Trekkie is like, I'm a dyed-in-the-wool Trekkie. That's just a dyed-in-the-wool Trek. Always been a Trekkie. Forever, never. When I was a kid, I really enjoyed the Star Wars, the Wars of the Stars. And follow the light. We have weed. Okay, that was the deal. Left hand. Yeah, see, okay, you have weed. That'd be me bouncing off the cannabis light like a moth. The dark side, we have cookies and weed. See, that's what I'm saying. We got it all. We got it all here. People, just bring a table, set it up on the side of the chat, sell your wares. Embrace the Sith. It was a shit show. What show are you talking about? Idiot Test? Oh, I'm clicking the wrong thing. Last night I was watching some streams. I think Left-Handed Jedi was there. You were watching, and I don't normally drink. I don't normally drink. I do every now and then. It's kind of rare, and it's pretty rare that I drink enough to get, I don't drink too much very often. I like a little buzz, But last night, what happened was I was sitting there and this glass of wine, I was minding my own business and it snuck upon me. And I was like, yeah, I'll drink it. And so I drank it. I was like, it's okay. I'm a bigger boy. And for long, I'm like, oh, in the chat. And I'm laughing and having a good time. It was really good. I thankfully didn't have a headache this time. Yeah, so I'm watching a stream last night. And I'm watching somebody else's stream. And I see, for example, Left-Handed Jedi say something. And I'm like clicking his words to try to highlight them on the screen for everyone to see. Oh, it was fun. For me. Anyway, so use my Shoto saber to light. Ooh, that sounds. Is that one of those cool lighters that I used to have one of those? Not one of those, I don't think, but. So yes, I was kind of wondering about the whole. First of all, we often talk about other shows on here. Why, I don't know. Dog hair. So let me ask you. We do the Star Trek, Star Wars, Star Trek, Star Wars, and I really like them both, really. But Babylon 5 is a pretty good show. It takes a little bit to get into it, and depending on how your circumstances, whether you have weed on board or not, to get through the first season. If you don't have weed on board, getting through the first season can be a little rough, Mark says the key is to drink a lot of water. I did exactly that. I did drink the waters. I did, but I gotta warn you, fish pee in that stuff. I don't normally touch it myself, but I did as a preventative measure, and I guess it worked. Let me put that up there on the screen. So Mark, Battlestar Galactica, OG Battlestar Galactica. Of course I saw the OG Battlestar Galactica and I dug it, but it was one of those things that there was only one season of it. If you didn't see it on TV, you didn't see it. And it just wasn't like Star Trek, which really hit it off in syndication. And there was just a lot of things. I dig the OG Battlestar Galactica. To be honest, I really, if I was gonna be dropped on a desert island with either the OG or the new one from 2001, I did the new one. I really did. I enjoyed that. That was a good show. Of course, a lot more content, obviously, too. So, idiot test work. We served almost 300 people in 4 hours, 3 courses, rough day. Wow. You are a chef, right? A person who does the cooking thing. That's what, if I remember right, that's what you did. So, Left-Handed Jedi. I like the original and the new one. Well, yeah, I too really enjoyed the new one. There was a lot of things about it that really made it a fun show. I had a friend who, chef, awesome. I had a friend who loved the OG show and was very upset that, very upset that Starbuck was a woman. I get it. It's like if they remade A New Hope, Star Wars, A New Hope, and they made Luke Skywalker a woman. How would you feel? You'd be like upset, I guess, because when I was a kid, Luke was my hero and he was a boy and I was a boy and I related, and I guess, right? Well, technically they did that when they recreated with Rey. It's the same thing. But from the original was the War of the Gods. I don't remember a lot of the original episodes. I remember I started to watch them again recently, not a few years back. But what I remember the most, and it's probably because I'm biased, is the actor who plays Gaius Baltar. Really enjoyed him. And so that first opening movie where he's selling them out to the humans or to the Cylons or whatever, that's what sticks out the most in my mind for me. How big, if you don't mind, is your place? What kind of restaurant do you work at? Idiot test. It's a lot of people. I don't care for people. It's the smell mostly. One with the Return of the Commander Kane. Oh yeah, I remember that one too. I do remember that one. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. That always, I'm one of those people who's unity. Let's come together, And it really bothered me that now in the first one, it was really, I think, more about how that Admiral Kane was like a wild cowboy who's just going to ride off into battle and just go fight all the Cylons. And that's kind of his. Well, I don't remember that one, and it's been a long time. I don't remember it being some kind of power struggle where he was trying to take over both ships and command everybody and do all that business. It may have been that way, but I just don't remember it being that way. I didn't really care for the human on human part of the infighting of that in the new show, where the woman came in and of course I dig a strong woman. We love a good strong woman character. There's reasons why I don't particularly care for that actress, but that's a long story anyway. She did a fine job, but it just kind of spoiled it for me. The only really cool thing that I think came of that, the only scene that how could you keep that scene and get rid of all the humans screwing over humans, is that scene where all these fighters are from both battle stars are coming after each other. They're doing the thing, but they're not okay to fire yet. So they're all just like do this like this. And Starbuck comes in and she's like, "What the hell are you doing?" Because she comes in like she's a Cylon and they don't know. And you can see them all and they come together and they go after her. And that was, I get all misty. That's good shit right there. I'd love to see that again. Typical Friday night, we seat 80 to 100 at a time. Wow, it's a rather small, tiny kitchen with two dudes cooking. Oh, damn. You were smited. That's what you get for watching the show. Got smited. Damn it. It's my fault. I'm sorry. I'll blame the evil one. Yeah, but really, that was one of the best episodes of the show. Really, if you ask me, that was really good. I like that the way they put all that together. Fantastical stuff. May have to watch it. The wife and I have talked about watching it again. Right now, we just now restarted. We restarted Strange New Worlds for kicks. We were kind of between shows and didn't have anything particular to watch. Why are you blaming me? Fun, kicks and giggles. Somebody has to take the blame. Who's going to take the fall if not you? You've seen the movies, right? That was one of the things I always thought was funny about the original show, the Star Wars, and they're all like, "Ooh, this wonderful person, this Jedi is going to bring balance to the Force." And I'm like, wait a second, there ain't no Jedi, there ain't no Sith, and there's Jedi everywhere. That always kind of, some logic that didn't really. Left-Handed Jedi asks, have you ever watched Earth Final Conflict, one of the other Roddenberry franchises? I think I did. I watched like the first season. Nowadays, I guess I could go watch it again and start over from scratch. My understanding, and I could be wrong, remember, a lot of cannabis through this whole thing. My understanding is Gene Roddenberry's participation in that was that he briefly wrote something down on a napkin, and that was it. Somebody took that napkin, and the whole show came from them, and they did everything. He had no other part in it beyond that. I heard. I don't know if that's true. I'd have to look it up and see. I one of the things, and that may be worth a rewatch just for fun. I do starkly remember, there was an episode where at the end of the episode, don't know what anything is about, right? I was a kid, it was many, many moons ago. At the end of the episode, they're sweeping along like this, I don't know, a cavern or something, and they come across a skeleton, and they move over to the skeleton, and the skeleton is wearing a crown of thorns. And I was like, oh! Wow. So, there's a Predator series? Wait. Oh, you mean the movies? Do you mean the movies? Or is there a Predator series? Must know. I used to like Andromeda. Andromeda. Oh yeah, Andromeda. Me too. I enjoyed the Andromeda show. With that certain someone who was a jerk. Yeah. Yeah. Right. You're talking about that Kevin Sorbo asshole. Members only, guys. I can say whatever the hell I want. I think that's probably who you're talking to. I mean, just blink twice if that's who you were talking about, Lieutenant Jedi. Or Mark. Yes, I should put that on a hat. Sell it. Sell it. Wait, a good answer, Mark. Good answer. The Prey movie. Okay, yeah, the Prey movie. I enjoy the Prey movie. Now, as you, my fellow friends, know, I actually live in New Mexico, and the actress from the Prey movie is from New Mexico, and her mother. Not that there was any nepotism involved or anything. Her mother is runs a big casting outfit here in New Mexico, and so. I was very familiar with her and not met them or anything, but I knew who they were. Like close, like I know those people from that movie. It was cool. Tremors. Tremors is yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen Tremors. I was fellow Mark Reed. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, Tremors when I was a kid was one of those that because I was a kid when I saw Tremors, and I think if I remember right, it was one of those that kind of scared me. I don't remember watching a lot of movies that scared me, but I was a kid. If I'm remembering right, it may not have been Tremors. Anyway, yes, awesome, nice to have you this morning, Mark. Oh yeah, the movies. Okay, Idiot Test. Talk about the movies. If you haven't seen the Predator movies, man, I enjoy those. Those are still a really fun watch. Even, I mean, the evil one and I could sit and watch Predator 2. We did it a few years back. I watched Predator 2. There's a series, and we watched Aliens and Predator, and we watched them kind of in a certain order. Some of them get really hard to watch. Aliens 3, I think it is. Maybe it's 3 or 4. 4. I think it's end of Aliens 4, where she has like some sort of sexy love affair with the alien at the end of the movie, and then there's a little hole in the ship, and the alien gets sucked out of the ship. It's really rough. It's hard to watch. Which one has the sled ride of friendship? I'm not sure. Alien versus Predator. Okay, yeah. I remember the first Alien versus Predator. I don't know that I remember the yes. Okay, the first one was in a mountain in Antarctica, right? And the second one was called Requiem, I think. And it was in a small community in like Idaho or some business. I got it? AVP, yeah. Which one had the sled? Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a good fun series. And Burt Grimmer. Why am I remember? What is that? Burt Gummer. Bro, I don't remember. That name is familiar, Mark. Trimmer. Okay. Okay. Yes, so we may have to go continue watching some of the more of the Alien movies. Now, we recently watched the Romulus. It's okay. I've been craving watching it again. I want to watch it again. But there are parts of it that at first blush were, but otherwise, once you kind of let that go and just enjoy the show, I think I'd have a little more fun. Oh, Hellraiser movies. That's fine. That's close enough. John Constantine. That's a, sci-fi. What is it? What is it about the Catholic religion that makes it so horrific? Like when you watch a movie that does a really good job of visualizing the way Catholics think, like John Constantine, their heaven, their hell, or there was that one, lots of them. There's a whole bunch of the movies that did it. Arnold Schwarzenegger did a movie where he sacrificed himself at the end of the movie. But the whole demons, and there's this demon coming out of the ground and it's going to go after people, and just the way Catholics see the world is scary. it's scary. Yeah, sci-fi fantasy, big overlap. It's, when Harry Met Sally, Monday through Friday. Saturday on Sci-Fi Saturday, no Harry Met Sally unless Harry was Harry and the Hendersons. There we go. But I really enjoyed the cast of the Constantine movie. Yeah, I love the movie. I heard, I don't know if it's true, rumor mill as it were, that there may be a Constantine 2 with memory test failed. Right. Hey, good morning, Callie. How are you doing? Good morning. Good morning. We're talking some sci-fi. So 67%, I'm going to just put this up there. 67% of the people say that after the first hour, they think it's okay if we open it up to everybody. I only ask that because most of the time our live streams are lit partially because of the chat. It's a lot of fun and we get to pick on people. Y'all get to pick on people. Prey. Okay. Back on the thing. Prey is a good movie though. We're back on the Prey. I did enjoy a movie that to me is worth another watch. I'd watch that again too. I really liked. Okay, I have some issues though with Prey. I like the strong female character that they have with Prey. I really enjoy her. Angelique Midthunder, I believe her name is. Midthunder's her last name. I don't know if it's Angelique. That may be the mother's name. Anyway. I really enjoy that. The problem I have with some scenes that I would have to go to some of my Native American friends and go, is this real? Is it? I always thought Native American cultures had more of an open mindset about what a woman could do if she wanted to. And in this movie, they really portray the natives as being very misogynistic towards her. And that may have been the case, considering what she was trying to do, become a warrior or whatever she was doing. I don't know though. I'd want to ask my friends, my Native American friends. It just seemed like that part of the movie kind of took me out just a little bit. The way they kept putting her down because she was a woman. I was like, I don't know though. I don't know that the Indian culture really did that so much, but maybe they did. The animated Constantine movies are great. I haven't seen them. I haven't seen, that's the glory of my situations. I haven't seen either one of them. Either the Constantine cartoons or the Constantine comic books. I haven't seen either one of them. So all I've got in my head is, Keanu Reeves. One of the things about Keanu Reeves, you notice he didn't wear the coat or any of that business. They just kept him in typical Keanu Reeves tie and I wonder if he just takes the same costume from set to set to set to set. But I did enjoy it. It was a fun ride because I wasn't tainted, I say, by those other things. Now, I think it'd be probably a fun ride if they did I thought they were going to do a more live action series that was Constantine. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Hellblazer. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Matt Ryan. I see that there. Kelly Laughlin says, I like Matt Ryan as Constantine. Good. Too nice is a guy to play as Constantine. Oh, yeah. I get that from, I've never seen the comics or the comic books, but I've seen the images, just like, oh, hey, that's what the original Constantine looks like. And that's something I can clearly get. I mean, the Constantine wears a brown overcoat. He doesn't obviously look like Keanu Reeves, who always looks like Keanu Reeves. And he does. He just looks like, he hasn't shaved in 3 or 4 days and he just woke up and he's got alcohol on his breath. That's just kind of how he looked. Let's see. John Constantine, John Wick, so many Johns. That's true. One of the things I have to say though, one of my favorite parts of the Constantine movie, there's 2 parts. Oh, and don't let me forget this one. Okay. One of them's about that jackass. All right. The first one is the actor who plays the devil at the end, Satan at the end, Lucifer. The actor, he did such a great job. It was so fun to watch him. Great job. That was one of the biggest pluses I found to that movie was and of course you guys have seen the video I made about Pastor Dean where I clipped out parts of the Hell movie so that actor, don't remember his name. He's got a Stormare, Peter Stormare, I think is his name. Cool name. If that's his name. Anyway, so that was cool. And my second, this actually has to be my favorite thing about probably, I mean, it's like the shining crown jewel of the movie Constantine was this Shia LaBeouf died at the end. Couldn't have happened in a better way. I mean, I'd sit there and I'd watch it. I'd like, oh, that was fan. Oh my God. And then I'd rewind it. I'd watch it again. Oh my God. I mean, I used to not hate him. And then I watched Transformers. I watched him raw dog one of my favorite show, series, franchise things from my youth. I mean, I used to love Autobots Roll Out. You know, I mean, I loved it. And then I made the wife. I know, friends, you're going to be like, you really did that to her? I made the wife go through watching the 1980s Transformer cartoon movie the other day. I know. Have you seen A Clockwork Orange where Malcolm McDowell's eyes are like forced open and there's like they're dropping these eye drops in his eyes to make him watch it? I have to say the hardest thing about getting her to watch it was getting the eye drops right in her eyes, but we did it okay. It was at the end of it, she's like, well, why did you do that to me? There was no reason why an adult female should have watched that show. Arise, Rodimus Prime. I know, right? Oh, it gives me like a youthy heart on right there. And the music, you got the touch. You got the power. Right? Am I right? Or am I right? Or am I right? Oh, it's fantastic stuff. Kelly Loughlin, is Constantine stuck to one universe? Well, a Serbic answer would be two. There's our universe and then the Hell universe. But I don't know about what if you mean like a Star Trek or something where they have multiple universes. What I see in Constantine, there's the real world and there's the heaven hell world. Maybe 3 universes. One is the hell because he'd popped into the hell and it looked like just like the regular universe, but he's all tore up. And then of course heaven would not look like that, but would it look like? But he actually went up to heaven. He didn't stay on earth. That's a great question. Orson Welles is Unicron. Orson Welles is Unicron. And these are my minions. Orson Welles, this was his last performance for the show. Forever before he died. He died like days after this. And he was, my understanding, as I read, because I like reading the trivia on imdb.com as I watch movies. And he was really hard to work with, slurred a lot, and they had to do a lot of processing to get the final result that they got. But, and he didn't have any idea about what the show, just some robots fighting each other or some business. He had no idea about what was going on. But a great voice. And of course, Leonard Nimoy. Galvatron. And you know what? I've been talking to my wife because every now and then I'll be like, I'll do something. She's like, you cleaned the kitchen, but you didn't do the stove. So I'm trying to get it. It's not working, my friends, but I'm trying to get it to where whenever I do something like that, she goes, you have failed me once again, Starscream. If I could just... But she won't fall for it. I mean, I'm trying, my friends. I'm trying. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Orson Welles did it for his granddaughter, as I understand it. That's. They also only had one female robot in the show, period. RC, and they didn't. She wasn't originally scripted in there. Some of the directors and people had to really fight to get a female robot in there. It turns out now she's one of the most popular robots. Blah blah blah. It's cool. Right. Okay. That's the whole thing. That's what got me about Shia LaBeouf was that, man, I mean, before that, I actually liked Shia LaBeouf. I didn't know him very well. But I didn't know him. I don't know the guy now. But I'm talking about as an actor. And then, so he pretty much screams his way through the first show at people all the time, but not too bad. It's a little bit bad, but it's not too bad. And then during the second movie, he really does. He's just an abusive jerk asshole. He screams at people. He's the worst possible fucking person. You know, he's almost cheats on his girlfriend of a long time. He almost does until she turns out to be a fucking robot that's going to eat his face in business. You know, I mean, he was a little struggling, but he wasn't struggling hard enough. You know, when you don't want it, you don't want it. If she was not a beautiful female, he would have been a lot more forceful about GTFO. Maybe that's probably right, Mark Reed. He's Michael Bay's depiction of his audience. But this whole screaming jackass the whole time, treating his women bad, just really ruined it for me. And then, all right, so that's just Shia LaBeouf. And then after that, I just couldn't get down with the guy anymore. I don't care what the hell he does. I don't care. He just pissed me off. But the movies themselves are just kind of like, there's so much that goes on that just kind of, when they fight, I mean, they just did, I don't know. I don't know. I have a hard time. Ba weep grana weep ninny bon. And see, that's why I made the wife watch it, because I was sitting there one day and I was like, ba weep grana weep ninny bon. And she had no idea what I was talking about. Oh, really? Well, so many of the things that I say, you know, you should watch this. So we watched it. And then when we got to the ba weep grana weep ninny bon part, I was like, watch. And I dropped the drops in her eyes. And she's like, oh my God, make it stop. And I'm like, no, shh, watch. He's like, you talk TV? We talk TV? Ba weep grana weep ninny bon. I have a little brother, and I, you know, like every few years, I'll just send him that as a message and he'll respond with the same thing and we're good. And he played the agent in the first one. Doom Patrol. Let's see. John Turturro. Yes, he is. Oh, really? I did not depictions of his character on Michael Bay. I did not know that. Wow, that would that'd be fun. And then there were other things. Yes, thank you, Donald Trump, for 34 convictions. Thank you for joining us today, by the way. It's Shia LaBeouf. I know, right? That's what I was saying. Remember, let's harken back thusly to a few minutes ago whenever I was talking about the movie Constantine and like Gabriel. I believe it's Gabriel at the end of it, played by, man, every now and then I do. I can't remember her name. But grabs him, slams him up against the fun and the font and the font and the font, and then he's like, argh! And I'm like, oh my God, rewind. That was fantastic. I mean, I did not touch myself during, because that'd be just gross. Tilda Swinton, see, awesome. Hello, Paul Kamich. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're doing great today, enjoying your Saturday. Yes, happy afternoon. Welcome. What do you have a favorite sci-fi? Paul, are you into sci-fi? Do you do sci-fi? Nice to see you. I used to play. Paul reminds me of things. Paul is a pilot and flies small aircraft. And I used to, one of my favoriteest video games ever, lost years of my life to this video game, was Red Baron 3D. It was video game 3D. It was a long time ago, back in 2000, I think, right around the 2000, 98, somewhere in there. Yeah, and I played a lot of video games with, and Paul reminds me of that, because it was World War I airplanes, and he flies a single engine aircraft, and I don't know why. Oh, you're at work. All right, slacker. I see. Just goofing off. At work. Get to work, man. Well, thank you for joining us on your Saturday at work. I watched V for Vendetta recently and found it eerily appropriate to today. I have not seen that movie. I've never seen that movie, and I really think I should. I think me and the evil one would enjoy that. You're keeping the road safe. Thank you. That's a great question. What was my first console system? Okay. Pong. It was Pong. It had this like one controller over here that was longer than the other, and the other like a little cord that went to, I think it just went to the other thing, and you could sit in front of it, and it's Pong, and you could play Pong back and forth. That was the first one, the Atari 2600. But I didn't actually have one. Our friends used to have them, and we were really poor, and we would go watch them play, and they were mean. And even if one of them was there alone, he would just make us play or make us watch while he played like Tank on Atari all by himself, and just rolled over there and shot the other tank to shit. And then, but if you're talking about the video game Red Baron 3D, that was on a home built computer. I don't really, I don't have any I have an Xbox probably somewhere. We had a Wii. I just never use them. I've never played them on the regular. I don't. I've been I'm a computer guy, and I build these really big, beefy computers to play video games. And I still play video games. Right now I'm on Hollow Knight. I have to say I'm disappointed with Hollow Knight. It's really seemed cool at first, but there's reasons where if you want to talk about, Nintendo. Yeah, Nintendo. Yeah, the original Nintendo, the front loader, and then Nintendo 64 and all that. But Nintendo, I actually had one of those. Good morning, Carla J. Thank you for joining us today. Sean Alexander. Wow, everybody's showing up. That's cool. Awesome. Thank you. Pong and 2600 were my first. I remember we used to go down the street, and there was this friend of ours, and it was sort of the same situation where they had an Atari, and we didn't get to play it very often. And it wasn't because the friends wouldn't let us play, it's because the parents would play. Your mom and dad would sit there and play that Pac-Man. They would just Pac-Man. And us all kids, we'd be sitting there waiting. Maybe they'd give us a turn. I don't blame them now. I'd be like, kids, go to your room. What the hell? I'm playing my video game. Get the hell out of here. Zelda. I really enjoy Zelda. I love me some Zelda. I got a new, not related to Zelda, I got a new controller for Pegasus this year from the evil one. And it's just like the one I have. But the one I have is years old. The button, the thumbsticks on the top of them are all worn out, like when I go, if you watch it on the thumb thing, it's like, anyway. So now I have no excuses, and I still suck at the game. Let's see, FF7, GoldenEye. See, I never got to do the GoldenEye. I've heard about it. I just wasn't. When that was going on, I think at that point I was starting N64. I was finally starting to build my own computers. Started with an 8088. Actually, I didn't start with an 8088. I started with I can't even know what it was called. My mom had it, and it was a keyboard that was kind of bigger than a keyboard, like this. And on this side, it had slot where you can put a big floppy disk, a real floppy disk, and then like it had a port on the back for a mouse and stuff, and it just did like a one color. And so you could type, you could do basic, I think it was. Are we talking the same thing? Yeah. So yeah, you guys, Dragon War, I don't know that I've played that one. 5 1/4 inch floppy. That's right, 5 1/4 inch floppy. Actually, to be honest, yeah, when you started the computer, you had to have the floppy in it because the floppy was where the operating system lived. It was, was it DOS? Or did it have a different name? I think it was just DOS at the time. DOS 1. I don't remember. My first Windows machine was Windows 95 that I had bought from some used place, and I had to pretty much build it all myself. It had memory, and I got memory from over here, and it was my first Windows computer. Yeah, DOS is probably what it is. I remember being on DOS 3.3. No. It was Windows 3.3 because it was the first Windows that had networking in it. Windows 3 didn't have networking. Oh, I remember Windows 3.3 did have networking. And if I could be, man, am I old? I am old. Windows 3.0 was the first one you can remember. Okay, so we're about in the same range. Yeah, DOS was the first one. So that was my first computer. It just had DOS something. I don't remember what it was. And then my second, and that wasn't my computer. It was my mom's computer. I got to play on it. My first real computer of my own was an 8088. If you're old enough and you were into computers back then, it was like it was a generic, like it was like the Coke for a while of an 8088. Anyway, it didn't have a hard drive either. I had to put one in it and all that stuff, but that was my first. And the reason why I was doing this is because I was going to teach myself how to write books. And I did. I never wrote books on that computer. Windows 3.1 was the first thing with net. Okay, Windows 3.1. Okay, yeah. I knew there was a difference between the 3.0 and then, okay, so I did have 3.3 though, I believe, if I remember right. Yeah. Now, I will tell you a fun story. It's funny now. I went down and I bought myself some new memory for my computer, and I was ready to do some stuff. Lots of porn at that point. I was all right, let's go. And of course, also at the time, AOL was all out, and we were doing things to communicating and chat and flirting with girls or do whatever we were. I just wanted to compute, right? And while everybody else was playing the other game, Nintendo 64. Anyway, so I did this on my computer, and I went and bought this memory and I put it in my computer. My computer crashed. I didn't realize it was the memory. Something made me think that it was the operating system, and I completely unloaded my operating system off that computer onto floppy drives, not knowing that's not how. I just completely trashed my computer, ended up wiping the OS, losing everything, reinstalling everything, and then the computer still didn't work, and I found out, oh shit, it's because of the memory, and I took out that memory stick and it fired right up. I mean, that was like a weekend of solid labor. Thank you very much, Paul Camish, for the £4.99 super chat. It says, get yourself a cup of teas on me. Not coffee, I'm British. I love me some tea. Oh, I do. We have several different varieties of tea here in the house that I do occasionally drink. Yes, tea. And yes, I do. Of course, you know me. Earl Grey, right? You would almost certainly be disappointed if I drank any other kind of, tea as far as that goes, I mean, I will drink like cold tea out at a meal, but like as far as hot tea, relaxing in a cup. Thank you very much, Paul, for the super chat. I appreciate you. And I will, you too, you stay warm out there. Is it cold and ugly where you are? Let me know. Cold and rainy, because it's cold and yucky here. I don't know how cold it is. It's not as cold as you guys. You guys were talking some nasty stuff over there earlier. Let me see what it says here. I don't have it on this computer, do I? I told it not to nag me on. I wanted everything off of this PC because, anyway, it's cold here. 2 degrees Celsius. That's awesome. That's like 34 degrees or some business. Fahrenheit. Did you see how I did that math in my head? I'm Wile E. Coyote smart. Text-based. Oh, yeah, text-based games. Do you remember? That was some fun. And I also remember I had not Dungeons and Dragons. It's something like Wizards and Mages, something like that. And it had this very basic graphic where you could go up and turn left and you'd see walls, kind of like Doom looking walls, but it was much slower than Doom. And you'd be step up and then a monster would get you and the monster would pop out on the screen and you'd have your turn and they'd have their turn. Might and Magic. Oh, goodness gracious. Yes, that was a good one. That was fantastic. And then, oh man, if I could find that game, there was this one game. It was a Might and Magic game, and it was cool because you're going through and there's Dungeons and Dragons and all this stuff. But as you go through, you're picking up these keys, and it's kind of really what is the situation is like. There's this alien ship or some kind of technologically advanced ship, and you're going through and getting these things. And the problem with that game was that it was. I don't remember what console it was on, but the onboard chip didn't save the game, so anytime you shut it off, you lost everything. And this is not Pac-Man. Those games were long, so eye of the beholder. England is always cold and ugly, according to Mark Reed. Tends to be chilly. Chilly. What were we watching? We were watching Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch. And they were doing the one where there's the movie, the art thing with painting, and if you're familiar with that one. And in one of those scenes, they've got this person who was unalived, and he was a guard at that thing. Anyway, they're out there all in coats. The actors are all in coats except for the actor who's laying on the ground. Now they do have like a blanket underneath him. Like you'd put I don't think they'd actually probably do that with a body, move a body onto a blanket, but they did have the man on a blanket. And, but other than that, he was like in a shirt, and he looked all wet because he just drug him from the river. He didn't have any socks on. I thought, man, as an actor, I know how long it takes to shoot those things. It takes hours. They're and they're going to cut, and they're going to turn all the cameras around. They're going to shoot from this way, and they're going to do it again over from here. And it takes so long. I'd be freezing his ass off. I hope he got good money for that. For that. Talking about video games, one of the hardest games I remember was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Loved it, but man, that was a bitch. Fantastic game. Me and my twin brother our deal would be to rent video games when you could rent them from Blockbuster. And I'm thinking this is Nintendo. Mike Tyson Super Punch Out? Super Nintendo? Yeah, Super Nintendo. So we'd rent games and then try to beat them by the time we took them back over the weekend. There was this castle game we used to love, Kings and Castles or some business. Again, oh man, love those games. Though those kind of times now, I just can't get away with playing video games for very long. If I play, I do. I'll sit down in it for a few hours. I've played Hollow Knight way more than I should have. But when I do, I get this constant nagging feeling in my head that I need to be doing something else. Now, when I was a kid, I had that same feeling, but it was like I'm avoiding something else by doing this here as much as I could, and that felt good. That was like, okay, I'm good with that. But now I'm exactly opposite of that. It doesn't, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle was like a Double Dragon thing. Kind of, yeah. It was very similar to that. Like Golden Axe. I remember Golden Axe. Golden Axe was cool. Was fun. Joust. You guys remember Joust? with the ostriches? Loved me some ostrich Joust. Carla says, supposed to get ice and snow here today in Missouri. My city is predicted to get 2 to 4 inches. 2 to 4 inches? Or is that a quarter to a half? Oh, I see. And then 8 to 13 inches of snow on top of it. Wow. Goodness gracious. I'm allergic to the cold. Battletoads. I remember Battletoads. That was kind of I think that some of those games were on that first 2D, 3D interplay where they'd have like a street that was laid out, and you could fight on the street and move up and down. Not kick fighter. But those kind of games you'd progress through. The games I really enjoy are like Metroid. I like the side-scrolling games where I can use a controller. Those are good. Ori and the Blind Forest was, I have to say, my most recent. Ori and the Blind Forest, the definitive edition, and Ori and the Will of the Wisp. Those currently are my favoriteest games. I enjoy them. I got Hollow Knight. I'm trying to play Hollow Knight. It's like the Will of the Wisp, and it's like Ori, but man, it's just not. And I have to say, I'm disappointed. Disappointed with the Defender. I used to love Defender. Was one of those games. Remember I told you I had the friends, it was Atari, and I had the friends who would play the game all by themselves and wouldn't let us play. We could watch though. That was one of the games that I used to be able to watch a lot, but I never really got to play. Yeah. Galaga. Galaga as a kid. Loved me some Galaga. Yep. Teenage Mutant Ninja. Okay, yes, kind of like Double Dragon. Exactly. That's what you were talking about. Double Dragon. They had the slanted floor like the street, and you could move up and down. They'd have a wall maybe, and people throwing stuff at you, but there'd be other antagonists that would come along and fight. Yar's Revenge. That rings a bell. I want to see a picture. That does. Yar's Revenge. Let me see. That's, that's the picture. Oh yeah. Yar's Revenge. That's fantastic. I remember. That's cool. Anyway, yeah, I remember that. That was fun. There was this point. I say it was fun. I don't remember. I remember seeing it. There was a point where I moved from one place to another, and I moved to live with my dad. My dad got an Atari 2600, I think it was, the one that had the Centipede. He loved the Centipede. He would play my dad, which, I mean, if you knew who my dad, right? He's just old. Just think of it. He wasn't a coal miner, but just think an old coal miner kind of guy. Just like if that was something an old coal miner guy would do, that's probably something you'd see my dad doing, you know, like eating chicken gizzards or some business like that. But I mean, that's the video game. You could catch him in a 7-Eleven over there playing Centipede. Now, he did play back in the day when we had I did go with them and we did get the Atari 2600. They did get Space Invaders, and he eventually quit playing Space Invaders because he said he would be driving to work and he could hear the dun 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 in his head. He would be hearing that in his head. I remember that. I remember that, not with that, but with Super Mario, and it wasn't hearing it. I remember I would play it so much that whenever I laid down to go to bed at night, I would close my eyes and there would be this little Mario and I'd be playing the game. It was Rage. I remember Rage, Streets of Rage. I remember, Double Dragon was good. I don't think I remember Streets of Rage. I was thinking Rage, the one with the monsters in the building. It may not even be called Rage. Dwayne Johnson made a movie about it. Galaga though, man, Galaga. Space Invaders. See, Space Invaders. That was, and the sounds to Space Invaders, you know. Rampage. That's what it was, Mark. Thank you for that. Rampage. Different from Streets of Rage. Yeah. Yep. And of course, like we were talking Joust, whenever I could play Joust, I really enjoyed me some Joust. The whole flying ostriches and knights and knocking the knights off of the thing and all that business. That was wonderful. Kelly says, I'm lost. I rarely play video games. I don't have the time. Kelly, we're not really talking about video games we play now so much as video games we played 45 years ago. But we can talk about those games that we talk now. Ori, I guess that's Ori and the other ones. But most of the games we're talking about were games that we played back in the day. Now, I don't know if you... Metroid was one of my first games. I really loved me some Metroid. There's a video game that's made by some guy. He made another Metroid. AMR2 is what it's called, and really it's like an updated Metroid. It's really good. I really enjoy that. I may have to go play that one instead of this Hollow Knight. So you didn't play video games at all, Kelly, when you were a kid? Let me get over here, get that out of the way. I probably watched as many people play video games. Let me check with our little poll, guys. I know it's Sci-Fi Saturday, but, you know, just in case you want, I do have a poll going, and it's related, in fact. Let me go here, and I'll share it with you. The question of the day is, which god from mythology is most likely an alien? Pitfall. Pitfall was one that was on the Atari 2600 that I remember getting to play. There we go. There's the link, guys, if you want to do the thing. So far, Zeus throwing lightning bolts, that's number one option, like an intergalactic taser. Ra flying across the sky every day in his UFO sunship. Thor a Viking with an alien tech, obviously, or Quetzalcoatl. That's my favorite. Seems most likely to be an ancient alien. A feathered serpent, snake men from outer space. I think that's my favoriteest. Unless, of course, like you think of Jesus getting lifted up into heaven, and I think of that like a tractor beam. I made that the first option this morning for fun. Oh, Kelly. I see. Carla, you didn't play video games either. Let's see. Yep. See, that's the deal, Kelly. That's an interesting. You were 20 in the 70s, and that's the thing. There was this age divide where the first generation of kids who were introduced to games, that generation, people from there on, I think really embrace technology a lot more. If you're of the generation before that, technology, they tend to struggle with that. Now, I say that after 30 years of working in IT, where I dealt with people of various ages and stuff in offices and all this business. And I just kind of got this thinking that, you could kind of tell if, now there are exceptions. You clearly have some older people who really embrace technology, even though they miss that early situation. And you have some younger people who hate technology, obviously. But as a general rule, I found that if they're over that certain line, like even just a little bit older than me, because remember my first game was Pong, and that was one of the first kind of video games. So if you're a little bit older than me, you probably didn't get into the video games. You were doing grown-up stuff, chasing girls or something. Sean Alexander says I had to go with Rob because he loves Stargate. I love Stargate too. I'm a Stargate fan. The wife doesn't care for Stargate. She does like Stargate Atlantis. She didn't care for Stargate so much. Yeah. See, that kind of generation. Yes. Definitely provoke problem solving and lateral thinking. Yeah, I would like to think hopefully that video gaming, especially from a young age, will someday be considered like learning multiple languages or all this other business as far as helping keeping the brain nice and spongy, for longer. Yep, that's what I'm saying. There are some. Kelly says I've embraced a lot of tech. I just don't get into games. Me too. Of course I am. But one of the things, every now and then I run into some tech that I just don't. It's just hard on my brain. I don't know why. Some things I really take to, and I take to them well, most technology things. But for some reason, there's just some things that Discord is a great example. It's not that I don't like Discord. It's that I don't like Discord. I don't. It's way too fucking complicated. It's a pain in the ass. It's this, it's that, it's just too hard. I'm sitting there. I was popped in last night to our own stream on the Friday night show, and I listened for a few minutes, and I couldn't listen because Discord had the wrong audio device set, and I had to go figure out which audio device set. But there was 2 different places, I think, where you could go to set the audio device, and I'm like, damn it. I mean, it's too hard for. I got a lot of software that uses those kind of things that you got to go do that with. Didn't I already do that? I thought I already did that. I thought we've already been through, just Discord hurts my brain. So there's that. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to check our little poll here and see. So 73% of us are for going ahead and opening up the chat or the show to everyone else. We'll just talk sci-fi with everybody else. If there's anybody that's just dead set against it, that's going to hate me forever, if we do that, let me know now and we won't do it. Because, you guys are awesome. Y'all are my closest member friends kind of thing. But otherwise, I'm going to go get some coffee. Just let me know in the chat if you're just too against it. Yes. Yeah. We'll talk about that Discord thing. Discord also, or Linux also hurts my brain. So let me go top off my coffee. I'm going to run us a little, just something for noise while I go do this. And then when I get back, if everybody's cool with it, and we don't have any strong objections, we'll just go open it up and we'll get some lively chat going on for the day. Nobody may show up. Who knows? I'm going to do you with the goat candles.
Have you sinned again? Oh, and it's bad this time. A chicken just won't do. But wait, you don't have a goat for your burnt offering. Oh, no. The Lord's wrath is upon you.
Insignificant person whose name I don't know, you have sinned. Probably. I shall smite thee.
What do? You're all out of goats. She left you for another man.
Fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles.
No goat? No problem. Just light one of these bad boys and let the sweet, savory scent of burning goat flesh rise up to the heavens.
Is that goat?
It's easy, it's fast, and deluxe models even have patented technology that produces a goat screaming sound as the wick burns.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented candles. Save a goat, burn a candle.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles are part of our You Do You Jew interfaith outreach program.
When you sin and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. When the Lord requires that pungent smell, light a candle or you're going to hell.
Okay, so we're back. I don't see any strong objections from any members. I mean, we did vote. 73% of us said yes, it's okay. 27% said no. And if any of you knows if it's really going to anger you, let me know, and we won't do it because I want to respect everybody. I think that's weird, but you know what I mean. I want to respect the member line of people being members. So otherwise, I'm going to go ahead here in a moment and open it up to other people, and it'll be just like a normal show. If they're members, guys, let me know. I don't think members have to wait through the timer. Am I right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know that if that's the case. Subscribers, do that. Slow mode, redirect. And after the show, it's going to automatically redirect over to Ember and her thing. Save. Okay, let's go to here. Stream settings. I'm trying to figure out where to do that. Nope. Stream is healthy. Yes. How do I open it up to everybody? Give me just a moment, friends, while I look for this and see if I can do that. Streaming software, streaming now. Ah, there it is. Maybe I can do this. I see it. Members only. Public. Okay. Publish. All right. So hopefully other people will join us. And it'll just be like a normal show now. One of the things that's a great question you guys are talking. I'm going to, you have probably heard me hate on my little computer, but it's really a tiny little computer about this big. And I got to be honest, it's done a great job, but it's not as a girthy girl as I need it to be to do what we want to do. Like, I want to be able to do pre-recorded. So as we're recording or we're doing a show, I can hit hey man, I'm on a roll here. This last couple minutes, I've just been knocking it out the park. I want to cut this out for a later thing, and I can hit a button and it'll actually record, or it has recorded, already keeps the last 2 minutes or some business, however long. And then it'll keep the recording from there, and it'll go on through, and it'll do it without all the extra on the screen. It'll do it with just my cam and just my mic. You can set it up to do that. This little computer just won't do that. There's too much strain on the computer. So one of the things I want to do, obviously, is I want to get a new PC to run the show on. But like you guys are talking about, I actually want to do a laptop, because I want to be able to take it with me and do the show from anywhere. And I want to get a laptop, and I want to have 2 monitors. I've seen a guy who does some trading on the internet. He's got 2 small monitors that'll hook up so he can travel, and he can put those monitors on there and have a 3-screen setup on his laptop. It's a girthy laptop. It can beefy, I'm gonna work towards getting one of those for the show. Okay, now let's see here. Catching up on our thing. Lenovo running Windows 11. We were talking about the Discord. I want to pop this up, Paul. Paul says, I hate Discord. I can't navigate it, and every time I click a link, I have to make a new account. I have about 5 accounts now. I feel you. a girthy that's one of the things is like, especially whenever I get into a voice chat, or I go into a server, and which room of the server am I in? I'm not really sure. Oh, darn. And then I click on what's a voice chat. I'm like, okay. And they can hear me. You can hear me? Okay. I don't want to be in here. I don't want to do this. So I click out of there and I go on doing other stuff, but it still has me in that server. And I go on to other things and I'm talking to people. I just don't like it. It's a pain in the ass. But apparently there's a community to be built there. A lot of people use it. So, and then Scotty and Vic Lit really, really both like it, and they both use it, and they're willing to do it and maintain it and help build the community. And I'm all for it. So, as long as they don't ask me to do a lot. I remember though that day where like Paul was coming in and Left-Handed Jedi was coming in whenever we did the Discord thing, and I thought, oh man, you poor people. Paul signing up for Discord. What did I do to you, Paul? I am sorry, Paul. I'm so sorry. Yeah, see, I've figured a lot of things out. It's just the fact that I had to, it was hard to tell, you know, and it was a pain in the ass, but I'm getting there. Left-Handed Jedi, that happened to me too. Yep. So it's a necessary evil that I'm going through as I'm building the damn show and my name in the community and my part of the community. It's a necessary evil. So yeah, that was kind of my thinking. Let me see how our poll's going, guys, and we'll probably see more folks showing up here. We'll see. I took the members only stream part off. Now, I did want to ask Kelly if you're still there, and Carla, both of you, Carla and Kelly, do you guys have a particular sci-fi that you're into? Either one of you. You might, video games may not be your thing, but are you into sci-fi? Victoria can enlighten all on how to work the Discord, but I don't see her here this morning. Yeah, she apparently is really, really down for the Discord, and I'm cool for that. It's one of those things, where there's plenty of YouTube videos on there. If I wanted to, if I weren't a lazy bitch about it, if I weren't just for some reason being drug kicking and screaming every step of the way for some reason, I would already know how to use it. I'm just saying. Good morning, Raven Lunatic. Thank you for joining us. All right. Okay, Kelly, you're down for Star Trek. That's awesome. Do you have Raven Lunatic? Do you have a favorite sci-fi this morning? So let us know in the chat. So do you have a favorite iteration of Star Trek, Kelly? Which one is your favorite? Are you down for, you're a TNG junkie? Oh, goodness gracious, me too. Now, here's how I see it. Let me know how you feel. Because of the breadth of Star Trek, there's the original series. There's original series over here. The Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, right here. They're all the same kind of, right? That's how I see them. So whenever I say I could sit and watch TNG, I really mean I could watch any of those series and be content and happy. As I see it as a singular kind of thing, but different. Now, of those, I prefer Deep Space Nine, that kind of thing. But yeah. So Star Trek, TNG, gotcha. The Expanse. Oh yeah, The Expanse is a lot of fun. Me and the wife, we really enjoyed The Expanse. Deep Space Nine is Left-Handed Jedi's favorite new Trek. I get that. I really don't care so much for Enterprise. I respect it as Star Trek. Some of it's bad Star Trek, but it's Star Trek. Discovery, some of it's just not even Star Trek. They stole that shit from somebody else. But Enterprise, one of the things I didn't like about Enterprise is I like Scott Bakula. I used to follow him from Quantum Leap, and they turned his character Archer into just like a stomping back and forth, angry all the time kind of lunatic person most of the time, always going and imposing his like shit on everybody. It got, for me, hard to watch. I could probably watch it with a new perspective, but I don't think it would help. Donald Trump's convictions, The Next Generation. Gotcha. That Doctor Who with Tom Baker. Exactly. Yeah, Doctor Who with Tom Baker. That Okay, Raven Lunatic. That's a fantastic. Tom Baker would be my doctor. I don't know which doctor. I don't remember which doctor my wife likes the best. But she enjoys some Doctor Who, and we were watching the Tom Baker series about 8 months ago. We started it and we just got out of it for some reason. But I mean, they're short, like 10, 15-minute little episodes, and then every show is like a 4-part thing, so you'd see one episode and then it's end and episode 2, and then every time it comes on, when I was a kid, I'd catch it like on PBS or something. Is that right? I'd catch it on PBS, I think it was. And that music, and the light, the TARDIS sound, loved it. Loved it. Oh, hey, Velchin Apologetics, good morning. We're doing, if you don't mind, and this is something I asked my members, today we started this show off as a members only stream. And then I asked my members as a poll. Now I'm speaking to Velchin. Listen to Velchin. All right. So I asked my members as a poll, is it okay to go ahead and open our Sci-Fi Saturday show up to the general population? Because, our channel's chat is usually just lit. And they said yes. But the thing we'd like to do is we'd like to ask, if you don't mind, just for today, would you mind talking sci-fi and just enjoying sci-fi with us? Now, I noticed your words had something to do with the Big Bang. If you're talking about the Big Bang Theory sci-fi or comedy show, now we're talking. See where I'm going with that? Can you do that just this one day? If you could, just hook up with us. Just have some fun. We're just talking sci-fi, none of the hard religion stuff. Join us Monday for that stuff. I need a new chair. Clearly, I hop around, but so let me catch up with the thing. So I just want to ask you, if you'll be cool, Velchin, chill with us. Raven Lunatic, good morning. Kelly Laughlin, your first doctor was John Pertwee. Yeah. Oh yeah. Cool. You are a little more seasoned than most of us. We got one, folks. Yeah. And we asked, let's see what happens. A left-handed Jedi, Baker he was my first doctor too. Let's see. Sean Alexander, it is an objectively true fact that Tom Baker is the best doctor. Yeah. And he's still going, man. He is. Now, you guys see how my hair is? But it don't look like this. It takes effort. And the longer I have dreams now, my hair is now chasing me in my dreams. I'm like, oh my God, it's behind me. It's there. But the wife loves it. So we're going on. But I see Tom Baker today and he's like 90 some odd years old. His hair is out to here. And he is like, I don't care. And that's where I'm going to be. Now seeing that just motivates me. I'm going to be like him. I just ain't going to care. My hair is just going to live its own life, its best life right here in front of all you people. Good morning, Trina. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Hey, Trina, do you do Discord? I don't like Discord, but it is not fun. Did I say fun? It's a form of communication that works. And our group of people who are working to develop the Daily Atheist community use it. And I thought if you would join us on there, that would be cool, because you said, you were like, had your hand up for doing stuff. And I'm like, I could probably put you to work. I got like a yard that I need cleaned and a garage. But you know what I mean? So if you do the Discord, there's a link and join us. If you don't do the Discord, but you're willing to, like, if you're into self-punishment, join up with the Discord. But otherwise, we'll do the email. I'll get with you. You don't do Discord only because I haven't tried it yet. I find it challenging. But if you're willing to learn with us, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a group in Discord of volunteers and people who are working together, and then we can all chat together as a team and begin to develop the team, because they've got stuff. And you may like Discord. It just hurts my brain. So thank you. I just wanted to catch you while you were there and say, hey, let me see here. Did we lose? I just want to see if, hey, Velchin says, you know what? I can appreciate that. And thank you for explaining it the way you did. Cool. Let me ask you, Velchin, because, if you're still here, I understand if you had other things to do and you're gone. Wow. Raven Lunatic, thank you for becoming a silver level member on our channel. I appreciate you very much. But if you don't mind, back to this before I forget, because my memory's small. Velchin, if you're here, do you dig sci-fi? I mean, do you have a favorite sci-fi? I would want to know. This is something I would want to know. Again, thank you, Raven. We just met the other day. You're so nice. Very nice. Thank you for joining us. Oh, hey, Anarchic Fox. Thank you for joining us. So for all of you who are just now getting here and joining us on the show, thank you for joining us this morning. This is something I think is very fun, and our members have agreed to it. I'm going to probably, maybe if everybody's cool with it, start doing Sci-Fi Saturday again. And I'm going to have it to where the first hour will be members only, and then the second hour we'll just let everybody in. I think that worked really well. We got to have some fun alone. I got to talk bad about other people. I'm a bad person. I talk shit about you when you ain't here. And then we open it up to everybody else. So if you're down, I think we may continue that format. And again, thank you, Raven, for becoming a member. John Petrie was my favorite Doctor Who, according to Paul Camish. Is he still alive? I don't think he is he? I think he passed a long time ago. The Left-Handed Jedi says Discord, or otherwise known as Masochists Unite. I mean, yeah, if you don't like yourself, if you have like a self-hatred or self-loathing issue, Discord may be the software for you. So yeah, now if you do, Miss Trina, I would appreciate it. All you may need to do is just learn how to go in there and have meetings so we can talk about and make plans or do stuff. It's just kind of easier than instant messages and emails. You know, it's cool. It's like free Teams, if you know what Teams are. One of my New Year's resolutions, according to Raven Lunatic, is to subscribe and join more upbeat channels. That would be mine. I'm an upbeat channel. That's cool. Thank you. I use Discord for running TTRPGs mostly. Cool. So you are familiar with it. Oh man, Carla J, look at you. You're so wonderful. Thank you very much for the memberships. 10 memberships. Goodness gracious. You're wonderful. I appreciate it. Now, since you're doing this, I'm going to post this up here. I do want to mention a couple things. One is that at the end of the show, I normally run credits, and in those credits are members and their levels and stuff like that as a thank you. For you wonderful people who are members. And I'm trying to find a way to keep that up to date efficiently, because it's difficult. You give the memberships wonderfully, and I appreciate that. So I got to go. I was going to do it once a week, but I don't feel that's right. I need to keep it up to date more. So what I've tried to figure out, I can actually export the members in an Excel format. I can put it up into the Chat GPT. Basically, let me ignore all that. What I'm trying to say is I'm going to, by next week, have the credits updated on the back end of the show. Thank you for your patience. And thank you again, Carla J, for helping all these wonderful people become subscribers. I appreciate you so much. John Petrie passed in 1996. Yeah, long time. Let's see. Trina says, I have teams for my daughter's basketball. Oh my goodness. Maybe I can figure that out. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of like that in a way. Goodness gracious, Carla J, you're fantastic. You are all fine. And what I was going to say is there are parts of, in Carla J, she's just going to have to be one of them too. Because of my acting background, there are people, and you'll see, here's something you may not know. If you see a show or a movie and it says executive producer, what that almost always means is that person gave financial support to that film. It almost always means just that. There's other times where it doesn't. Sometimes it's people who go out of their extra way and do other things. But the executive producer title is an honorary title for people. And the reason is partly because without them, you wouldn't get the thing made. So there are people like Carla J here, for example. Carla J, Left-Handed Jedi, Kalasia, Paul Camish. They're all people who may not even be members, and yet contribute so much to the channel that I have taken it upon myself to give them the credit of executive producers. So especially, there's some of them are there now. It's not right. It's not up to date. But that's the thing. In my own, because of where I come from way, it's an honorific, and I appreciate you all. Thank you. Thank you so much. Don't make me cry on my own stream. So let's see, my way to help grow your channel. I appreciate you. Thank you. And one of the things is you wonderful people have given away these memberships, and then I have been trying to provide some fun and content for the members, so they'll keep showing up, and it's working. It's working. Star Wars reference for my Star Wars people. Mallards ducks, huh? Mallards. I like it. Big W for the Colorado. Well, one of the things I do want to do is, of course, me, guys, I'm a one-man band trying to do all this stuff, but I want to get it to where, how longer memberships, I was going to do it with the soul swords, about like the color of memberships. The longer somebody's been a member, the more soul sword and soul armor they get. And I just haven't gotten there. And what happened was, I think it was Ember. Was it Ember stream? I was watching one of my friends' streams, and it had that. They had different levels, they're different little icons. I thought that was cool. Custom emojis, exactly. Yes, my custom emojis. I'll work on that. Let me make a note, so I can make a note, and I got to make a list. Michelle, the evil one. I'm seeing some references here. Father Flanagan's line of sexual health products. You guys don't want to know where those commercials are going. Now this is left. I can't get nothing past Left-Handed Jedi. It's fantastic. Let me go here. Yes. So, emojis, custom emojis. Because I have the tech and nerdiness to do that. I've got all kinds of software. I got DaVinci Resolve. I've got Filmora. I've got paid versions of all that stuff. I'm quite the nerd. Just takes long. Let's see, custom emoji. There we go. Those are cool. I really need to do that. So no one. Yes, right? Man. Always gets my references. I'll look up and I'll have said something, and sometimes, I'm just going. And I don't even realize I said something. And I'll look down, I'm like, oh yeah, hey, oh, he caught that. Oh, and I said that, didn't I? He catches them all. Nothing gets by him. That's awesome. Yes. So if you happen to, let me see if I'm sorry if I missed our response. I guess our friend left, and I don't blame him. He wasn't here for that. I'm just scrolling up to see. Shaka, when the walls fell. I saw that, Kelly. That is a fantastic reference. Yes. Timba, his arms wide. A ghost scented candle emoji. Okay. So I'm working on ghost scented candles. Really, not really ghost. You know what I mean? I'm really trying to find a way to get it. We talked to Carla J and her friend who she's got, but that there's a situation. No worries. That's fine. I've got another circumstance that's hopefully going to develop and work out to where we will actually have real Father Flanagan's line of ghost scented flesh candles, real ones that you can actually purchase for whatever reason a person would want to. I wonder if we could get them to like just a little bit of goat hair, just like little patches of goat hair to just, instead of a bow on top, if they could put a little goat hair, that would be, I don't think we can do that though. They may frown on it. Thank you very much, Carla J. I appreciate that. Yes, I've there's a lot of things going on, and we're trying to build it all, and I got a lot. So I appreciate that. The one thing I see here that I don't on a lot of other channels is actual member exclusive content. Keep that. Mark Reed's channel is good. Well, I try. I've been trying to provide member content. I do fail. Here's what I generally do to try to make up for it. What I do is, if you're a silver level or better, when I drop a long form video, I'll drop it for them first. They'll always get that first, even if it's only a few minutes first or whatever. Like I dropped a video at 3:00 this morning, but anyway, because really, to be honest, I didn't have a lot of silver level members. Now, as I get, so you see how it is. And what I want to start doing for my the bronze level members is kind of getting some behind the scenes photos, like I say in the thing, pretty much dog stuff, because you guys love the dogs. That's pretty much it. My thinking is most people support the channel because they want to support the channel. And we do have member level content. Actually, the members only live streams, I got that idea from the Kentucky Atheist. I was sitting there one day and I was cruising looking for something to watch. And I was like, oh, hey, look, there's a live stream. He's going. I clicked it. And it's like, oh, members only. I was like, well, hell, what are they talking about in there? I want to know. Divine. Good morning, Nomad. Thank you for showing up and helping out. Divine foreskin emoji. That's great. Oh, that's a great, I don't know how to say that. I got your name up on the screen. It's a Greek. I believe it's Greek. I don't know. I don't know that it's Greek. Individual, would you mind giving me a phonetic way to say your name? And I will. This individual, though, says, hey, you guys have seen The Expanse. I have seen The Expanse. I'm a fan. I really enjoy the first few seasons. Like that last season, it doesn't do a lot for me. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Let's see. Divine score, foreskin. Oh yeah, Star Trek and the Planet of the Apes are racist, according to the awful list. That's tough. There's this whole notion about Star Trek. Well, they may be speciesist. That's a whole conversation. Jesus flavored cookies. Oh my goodness. They do, don't they? They do have Jesus flavored cookies. Dio, I will call you Dio. Good morning, Dio. Thank you. Welcome to the damnation. Thank you for joining us on Sci-Fi Saturday. Now, for those of you who are just showing up, let me notice here, Alpha Uno, good morning. You said you believe the multiverse was eternal, which is illogical since it results in infinite egress, gap between past and present. Okay, cool. I'm going to kind of throw the same out there, same thing out there to Alpha Uno that I said earlier. If you don't mind, today, this is Sci-Fi Saturday. We had a members only stream. My members voted to go ahead and open it up to everybody because we like talking to people and having fun, but this is Sci-Fi Saturday. If you would like, we would love it if you would join us and talk about sci-fi. Do you have a favorite sci-fi? Can we, if you don't mind? Now I get to what you're saying. You're pretty much saying our beliefs are sci-fi. That doesn't count. That does not count today. If you don't mind, do you have a favorite sci-fi? Have you seen what was it called? We were just talking about it. The Expanse. Have you seen The Expanse? I like the detective. At first I didn't. I was like, I didn't like his hair because I'm an old guy. I'm like, weird hair. And then I actually got to where I kind of dug it. And I thought, man, he's probably my favorite character on the show. So if you don't mind, play with us. Let us know what you think. I would be interested to know what your favorite sci-fi is. If you're not into that, I would not feel bad if you decided to not continue watching and you went somewhere else. No offense taken, because that's not what you signed on for as Sci-Fi Saturday. Good morning, Dan from Canada. That's a good one. Dan from Canada says, I love Starship Troopers. Booker's better than the movie, but the movie is so bad it's good. Well, that's interesting. Pardon me. My understanding is there's this different... The book and movie are through different kind of lenses. The book is more serious about what it's trying to portray as a future. This is the shit way we could go, I think, maybe. And the movie was like a parody of modern fascism. And it was such a parody that a lot of people didn't even realize it was a parody, especially the people on the right. They're like, we love it. It's wonderful. There's that thing, though. There's that aspect about it. But I really enjoyed the movies. The first one, anyway. Scott Duke, thank you for joining us. Thank you. Pardon me. I've got the coffee burps. Anarchic Fox says, my partner is a huge sci-fi and film noir fan. The detective in The Expanse hit both nerves. Nerd loves for them. Yeah. See, it took a little time for me. But man, on every rewatch, I actually kind of lose interest when his character goes away. But yeah, it's a great show. I dig it, and it certainly I'd watch it again. I'd love to get with the wife and watch it again. Scott Duke. Well, Mark, you do you, boo. You know, I mean, if you want to, I just that you may not have noticed. That's what we're here for today. This is you're picking up what we're doing. You're good. Good morning, Simply Secular Dave. How are you doing today? I didn't know that you were streaming this morning. Well, here's the deal. I'm gonna start a Sci-Fi Saturday thing where I think I like this idea. The first hour is members only, and then after that we open it up and we just have fun because my chat is lit. But in order for it to be lit, we got to get everybody in here. So that's why we open it up to everybody. Before you got here, the non-members got here, we was having fun. There was stripping. But now that the members are here, or the non-members are here, we kind of got to cut it back. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Man, yeah, that would be a sci-fi movie. I have not seen that. Goodness gracious. It's been many, many, many moons ago. Let's see here. Sean said... we could just add any flavor to them and say it's Jesus. That's true. You talk about the Jesus flavored cookies. Yeah, they were always bland at the churches I went to. Three body problem. Dio, I enjoyed the three body problem. One of the things I like about the three body problem is that, good one, Alpha Uno, good one. One of the things I like about the three body problem is that it hit me with a notion that I had never considered before. And when you're watching it, and over that the whatever they call it, the Sang, I can't remember the name. I almost called them Sang-Ji if you're here. The Sang-Ji, you know what I mean? Those alien people. Whenever they tell the story about how they've got taken a single proton and they've expanded it, and then they put it, into it, and I thought, oh man, that was cool. Really like that one. Good show. Now, Alpha Uno, I like the movie Snowpiercer since I can envision making that in real life and build a time traveling train in real life. That is interesting. Alpha Uno, great one. Let me ask you, do you remember Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original, the OG? I don't know if you know this, but there is a connection between Willy Wonka, the OG, and Snowpiercer. So I don't really want to spoil it for you. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you're open to it, you ought to go check out on YouTube. You'll find it, Snowpiercer, Willy Wonka. Go watch that. It's fantastic. It will blow your mind. Blew my mind. I was like, oh, that's fantastic. I got to go watch the movie again. Okay. Yeah. Let me catch up and see. Simply Secular Dave sings, we don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. We don't have to. Nobody said I had to. Three Body Problem was pretty good. I'm looking for more. Skeptics and Scoundrels. Starship movie is a satire on fascism. The notion of violence solves everything is what's the target of the scrutiny. And that's fun. I remember the fake commercials. Do you remember the fake commercials that they used to have? Or, well, they're fake, that they were real commercials, but they were fake commercials they used to have, just like in RoboCop. Same thing, fake commercials. Somebody likes doing that sort of thing. I was influenced. Mark Reed says, I do love time travel movies, though. Primer was so freaking good. I don't know. I think I've seen it. It's been a while. I'm not much. Hey, there's Sang-Chi. Sang-Chi, hey, it's been a while. How are you doing? I hope you're doing great. They were my people. Let me see here. Sang-Chi. Did you sneak in earlier and I missed it? How did you sneak in? They were my people. You're not, let's see here. Okay, check it out. That's cool. Okay, cool. Alpha Uno, that's cool. I think if you're, man, because I enjoy Snowpiercer. Really, the notion, when you stop and think about it, that's a crazy idea. The train and all going around them. But really, when you go watch it, I think you're going to enjoy that. I want to let you guys know that after this stream is over, I've got it set to automatically kick over to Hive Sci for her Saturday show. So just letting you guys know, we'll just keep the cycle going for those who are interested. It's really, and then I don't know how to tell you what order to watch it. I'm not saying go watch Willy Wonka. I'm just saying because in the thing, when you watch the thing, the lady says, she talks, and as she's saying something, she starts doing her hand like this. And it's just like, you don't really kind of get what's going on. Then at the end of the show, you learn that they've lost all the people, the small people who used to run the innards of the thing. And I don't want to spoil too much. And so this whole hand thing she's doing is actually like a subconscious thing on how to run the train, how to run certain things. Aeon Flux, There we go. Aeon Flux asked the question, does anyone else like Aeon Flux TV series or the movie Raven Lunatic? I enjoyed the movie. Didn't it have Charlize Theron in the movie? I enjoyed it. Let me check out. Oh, hey, Scott equals the square root of -1. Thank you for joining us this morning. Blade Runner. Oh, let's see. What is a good price to sell my daughter these days? Okay, you guys are doing that. Now, I do realize, our chat is what it is. And I know there are some people who are going to show up on both sides of the fence and ready to do that thing that we normally do on the show. So some of you have shown up. I just want to mention today we're trying to focus on sci-fi. So whether you're a theist or an atheist or whatever you are, we're trying. And now I got you guys. If you got a conversation going and you want to do you do you. I ain't gonna stop you. We're not gonna mod you out for talking religion in the chat, but especially if you're a theist, somebody, we normally don't really agree on things, throw out your favorite sci-fi there and let's talk about it. Let's see what's going on. What the Beck? Hello, chat. Nice to have you. Trina, that wasn't hard at all. I'm going to play with it and see. Oh, you already got Discord. I bet you're doing the Discord thing because you're one of those kind of people. Alpha Uno, simply secular Dave, not exactly, but if you imagine harness the energy of the sun to power a train to 99% of the speed of light, time would slow down for you to travel into the future. That's true. That is actually a premise of one of the Star Trek episodes of, and I could be wrong about this, I think it's the Strange New Worlds. We're going through it again, and I think they get stuck back in time, and their solution is, rather than trying to do anything, they just decide to travel at 99% of the speed of light for a certain amount of time to get them back to the regular, and yeah, that's actually a working thing. Altered Carbon. I remember the name. Was that a series of a robot, android person, a cop? Am I thinking the same thing there, Dio? Well, that's why I thought I'd throw that out there. My antagonists, whoever, I just thought some of them might be interested in being willing to play. It's cool. It's like dogs. Everybody loves dogs. Let me see here. Ender's Game. Artem Polo. Cool name. Thank you for joining us. I'm almost certain I'm saying it wrong. Is it Artem Pollo? Ooh, Artem Pollo. Interesting. Says, Ender's Game was shocking to me when I read it. Movie is okay, but Ender's Shadow. Oh, really? I hadn't heard of that one. Ender's Shadow was brilliant. I haven't. Now, I like Ender's Game. I've seen it several times. I like it. I like it. I like it. Well, it's one of those things that when you know how it ends, it does something. Not every movie, when you know how it ends after you've seen it, loses a rewatch value. And something about knowing how it ends, that this is not a game anymore, for me, makes it lose its rewatch value. I don't know why, but I do enjoy a lot of it. Mark Reed, anime was awesome. Movie was a choice. Let's see which one okay. Let me catch up here. Oh, you guys are going on. How do Reavers clean their spears? They run them through the wash. That's fantastic. I get it. I get that. I'll tell the lie. How do you clean a room full of Reavers? Run a river through it. Oh, that's good. See, me and the wife, we were going to watch, I said we were starting Strange New Worlds again. We're going to rewatch that one of these days. It's not her favorite show. Dio says if you died, you could download your consciousness into a clone body. Oh. Let's see that. Oh, cool. Oh, me, Dio, I am. If I'm running a commercial, I'm getting coffee or let's see. Sangji though said, okay, just catching up. Tech Wars. I didn't read Tech War. I did occasionally catch an episode or two whenever they were doing the show. And William Shatner, I believe, wrote that. I do believe. So Altered Carbon was the shit. I may have to check that one out. I may definitely have to check it out. Yeah. because I love me some good sci-fi, and we're looking for something to watch. Have you seen Jeff Goldblum's Gym, Earth Girls Are Easy? Yes, I've seen that. It was a very long time ago. That was hilarious. Yeah, I see it, Mark. I kind of get what you guys are saying. Between you and it's like y'all are saying the same thing in a different kind of way, I guess. I from my brief glance at the conversation, yeah, I see what y'all are splitting hairs. Let's see. Star Trek is the future. I'm hoping that's one of the reasons why I'm so against this religious theocracy that's going on, is because the longer they're in control, the further we are away from the Star Trek world that we want. You know? Yeah, you guys are, in my opinion, y'all are splitting hairs. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. You are traveling through time travel. It's just you're traveling through time at a different speed than everybody else is because you're traveling so fast. Time travel. I get it. I can acquiesce. That's good. Now, if Mark, you want to wrestle with that, I am down. I have to be honest, though. You want to be honest? I'll be honest, because I hate this. I saw somebody in the chat earlier, and they're like, "I like this," and I really don't like to, contribute. But I don't like time travel. I don't like it in Star Trek. I don't like it in any sci-fi movie. Just doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me necessarily. Yeah, there's some very rarely do you see a time travel thing go, "Oh yeah, that was good." The only one that I can think of off the top of my head is, in fact, from Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and I think it's their season 2 opener, where but really, I don't know why. Time travel really kind of gets me. Now, Voyager does some time travel that's kind of cool, I dig, but for me, for the most part, time travel doesn't really ring my bell like it does some people. Arden Polo says, if I felt so Star Trek to have a flip phone back in the day, that's right. It felt like we were really hopefully moving towards it. I have an older brother who had one of those. It was a StarTAC. He'd pull it out and whip it like a phone. Star Wars, according to pseudo history, is fantasy. Star Trek is sci-fi. There's a difference. I've heard that a lot. I kind of feel the same way. Oh yeah, Trina's. I really like that shirt. Chris, I'm all for Spock. I bought a motorcycle only because it was cheap and called the Vulcan. Yeah, Romulan ale. I have a Batleth. I really do. I have a Batleth in the other room. Somebody asked me one day, they said, "Do you prefer the original Star Trek or Deep Space Nine?" And I was like, I saw the question in the chat. I was like, oh my goodness. And I ran in the other room and I grabbed my Batleth, and somewhere along the way, I hit myself on something. I don't know how I did it, but I did it, and I bloodied myself there, and I've got a nasty little scar, all for a big stunt. Some 50-year-old man jumping across a couch to grab a Batleth off the wall. Star Wars, there's a more grandiose nature to Star Wars in a way than there is to Star Trek. Star Trek is more, I don't know. Star Wars is a lot of, I want to say, run and gun. And Star Trek has a lot more like moral points and stuff like that. That's just my thinking, though. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, but each has their place, Who is blocking you? I don't know. I don't know what you were saying. Paul Camish says, I'm a time traveler. I've managed to travel 58 years into the future. I'm working on going further. Look at you go, Paul. Now you're just showing off. Time travel theories that sci-fi bring up just for the fun. One of the things, here's the deal, and I know this is just going to be like you're just being too serious about it. Is it, if I travel through time, I also travel through space. So, and the Earth is traveling through space. And so if I were to time travel right now, 3 minutes into the future, the Earth would be gone. I would probably be just out floating out in space somewhere. Because the Earth moves. through time, and a lot of time travel they don't ever account for that at all. But you know, I mean, it's sci-fi, it's fun, it's you know, it just doesn't work for me. Some of those other ones that are interesting are the ones where they become invisible, nobody can see them, they can pass through walls and stuff, but they don't fall through the floor. Those always get me. Yes, Another Time Around the Sun. That's all right, you guys do you. Yeah, you know, one of the things I do dig about Star Wars is, well, I don't know though. It's tough when you think about it. The aspects of Star Wars that we call fantasy in Star Trek, they've just explained them scientifically. They're still there. In Star Trek, people can still read other people's minds. They can communicate with other people with their minds. They can even do telepathy. You know, I don't really know that there's a lot in Star Trek or Star Wars that someone couldn't necessarily do in Star Trek, if that makes sense. You know, you've got a species that does this thing. There was a species that had, you know, in the first season, we see them had electricity that come out of their hands, and they could shoot electricity they would hold somebody and threaten to kill them, you know, very similar to the Jedi. Power, unlimited power. So good morning, Stephanie. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great day. We're doing sci-fi, or we're trying to do sci-fi. Some people we've asked that if they, you know, we told them we're kind of talking sci-fi, if you don't mind, talk sci-fi, but they insist in the chat, talking religion, feel free, whichever one you want to do. So thank you. Dan from Canada, magic is science we haven't explained yet. Well put. Yes. I noticed that the transpositions broke 1,000 or broke 500. Yeah, we were yesterday on the show. We were posting links. Y'all were like at 496 or some business like that. My understanding is y'all are like over 500 and something. So way to go on to you. Good on you. Congratulations. You'll be getting some super chats soon, I'm sure. Scott Duke has become a member. Thank you, Scott Duke, for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Awesome. Welcome to the damnation. There you go. Alpha Numa. Okay, let's see. Oh, you guys are doing that. That's cool. Now, here in a minute, like I said, thank you for those of you who are just now showing up. I appreciate you. What we're going to do when my show ends, I've got it automatically set to roll over to Bree's Hive Size show that she does. She doesn't know I'm doing it. So I just thought I'd go ahead and roll it over to her. So hopefully you guys will get to go over and enjoy some time with them if you're into that sort of thing. I think they've already started. I'm not sure. I believe it's somewhere in there. So here in a minute, whenever I wrap things up, you guys will go over there. Those of you who are still with us. Oh yeah, the transposition. See, that was the one we were talking about before that I saw. That's the one I saw. Was it the transposition from Thursday? I saw a good one, but I saw something. Anyway, good stuff. Mark Right-Handed Jedi says the Q are a good example of how Star Trek is no better than Star Wars on the sci-fi fantasy debate. And Kevin Uxbridge. Yeah, the Uxbridge. Yeah. I don't know. That's one thing right there. I don't know that there's anything in Star Wars that comes close to Q or Kevin Uxbridge. I don't know of anything that comes close to that. You can't say there's a Sith that comes close to that, because if there were, they would have used those powers, you know, for what they are. So that's just my thinking. But so there is that. I don't know about that part. So that's what I'm saying. The older I get and the more both shows develop and go over time, the more I realize the whole fantasy versus sci-fi thing is a little blurrier than we might have thought at first, you know? But I do get it, especially whenever the way the mythos developed around the Jedi being like wizards. I mean, they even dress like wizards, which kind of brings to mind Babylon 5's techno mages. Love me some techno mages. I'm not sure what's going on with Theophilus and if he's being blocked or why he's being blocked. Let me see. Let me see. Come on, Chris, you can do this. Where is it? I guess I can't. There it is. Well, Theophilus, the only thing, I guess in this particular case, we're talking specifically about sci-fi, and hopefully you're talking sci-fi and there's just a misunderstanding. Let me see. Q. Oh, I see. I am sorry, Mark. I didn't see for some reason that was a $5 super chat. The Q are a good example. Let me read that out. That's awesome. I don't know why it didn't ring in my brain. There it is. I see it. I just need to learn how to recognize it. The Q, thank you for the $5 super chat, Mark. The Q are a good example of how Star Trek is no better than Star Wars on the sci-fi fantasy debate. And of course, Kevin Uxbridge. That's great. And again, you now know my feelings on that. Yeah. It's that line is a lot blurrier. And I think it mainly probably due to that mythos, But all right, so I'll just save my effort. So if Theophilus is here, if someone is temporarily modding him, I would ask that you not, unless he says something ugly. If you're doing him for that already, then I appreciate you and I trust you. I'll trust you on that. Okay. If you're doing it because, if you're just doing it because you don't like him, I understand and I trust you. Sorry. X Banana Terror just subscribed. Thank you for joining us, X Banana Terror. Thank you for joining. We'll hear from you hopefully in just a minute. Always saw Jedi as monks with perks. Yeah, the Jedi, I think that's part of the reason why it's considered fantasy instead of just sci-fi, is because of the persona put around the Jedi and the Sith. And there for a while, like the new show with Rey, the first episode of Rey, where they kind of alluded to the notion that Rey wasn't related to anybody and that anybody could be a Jedi, a Force member, a Force user, whenever that stuff was coming around. I thought, man, that was really cool. Had they done that sooner to where just everybody has Force things and they explained it through science or whatever, it would have worked. Now, the whole midi-chlorian, I don't know about that. That just kind of, that was their way to try. They tried. I want to say they tried to do what we're saying to do, just knock it off and explain it with some science, and no longer is it sci fantasy. So Carla J says no one has timed. Oh, okay. Hey, Theophilus, I think it may be. Here, Theophilus, if you're still there, and you may not be, I think it's the 30-second timeout. It's just a thing. If you're not a member, you have to wait 30 seconds, and if you say something before that 30 seconds, you get timed out. It has nothing to do with you. I think that's what's going on. I need to recognize that sooner. Whenever our antagonist or anybody says, "Hey, you're timing me out." Yeah, because it would apparently, and this is not the first time this has happened. So are you out, Kelly? Go open shop. Take care. Have a great day. Stay safe. Stay warm if you can. Get better because the health. Guitar Dog, thank you for joining us this morning. Very much appreciate you. Trina's Creative Chaos has become a member. Thank you, Trina. You are so wonderful. And of course, the Discord thing. Did you get the Discord link from the thing below? Yes. Now, I may not respond to anything on the Discord now because the show's almost over and I got to go feed the wife. She's home today. And if I don't feed her, you know how they get. So I got to go feed her, you know. So there we go. Now, you guys are all great. Alpha Uno and the other antagonists who at least answered the question and tried to play some sci-fi. Thank you for the deal. A lot of our people, Mark, Alpha Uno, are passionate about why you're here. Both of you. And it's cool. That's why I didn't get all bent, because you decided to go your own way in the chat. Man, that's awesome. Thank you for being here. See, y'all are still doing it. That's cool. Yeah, slow mode. I think it's slow mode that was getting him. So I'll try to remember that, slow mode. So now, guys, what I want to do again is, before I wrap up the show, I do want to repeat our fan funding super chats and whatnot, because you guys are wonderful. So at the beginning of the show, for £4.99, Paul said, "Get yourself a cup of teas on me." Not coffee. I'm British. And I will, because I do dig some tea. Thank you. Raven Lunatic became a silver member. Thank you. You and Carla are our silver members. I mean, y'all are going to make me work. Carla, you're over on Patreon too. And I gotta figure out Patreon. I may even shut it down because we'll figure that out. Okay. We'll figure out something because Patreon, it's not working the way this. Anyway, you'll see. We'll figure that out. Thank you though for being there. And Carla J gifted 10 bronze level memberships to other people. I very, very much appreciate you. Thank you for that. And all you people out there, hopefully y'all will join us on our next Sci-Fi Saturday. And then Scott Duke became a channel supporter. Thank you, Scott Duke. This one almost snuck past me. Mark, the right wing Sith said, right wing. I'm sorry, Mark. He takes it back. He wants his money back. Where's my refund? I'll have Ollie contact you for your refund. Mark, the right-handed Sith said, the Q are a good example of how Star Trek is no better than Star Wars on the sci-fi fantasy debate, and Kevin Uxbridge. If you don't know who Kevin Uxbridge is, the next generation Kevin Uxbridge, really very much like a very Q-like creature. That's one of the heart-wrenching stories there. Hey, Godwin. Wow, Godwin, thank you for joining us. Thank you. He says, Godwin says, they say, Chris, you rock. Thank you for hosting this show. Thank you for joining us on this today. I appreciate you. The show is now over. Mark Reed, I am the other entire. That's awesome. You guys, that's wonderful. Let's see. Just making sure I ain't missing anything. Okay, so, and then finally, Trina also, don't want to leave Trina out. She became a channel member too. So thank you, a channel supporter. I very much appreciate all of you wonderful people. I'm going to go do that thing that I do. I'm going to feed the wife. You send safely, my friends. Thank you for joining us on Sci-Fi Saturday. I very much appreciate you. It was a lot of fun. We're going to do this more, and we'll see you Monday. Oh, and I got a new video. It's very pro-trans. It explains all that stuff. Go check it out. Thank you for everything. Have a great day. Stay safe. Send safely, my friends. Take care. Thank you, and have a great day.
When you send and need the time, light a candle and avoid the storm. When the Lord requires that pungent smell, like a candle.